Watson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Hopkins on the ground over the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Being chased out left, trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. The former Longhorn back home, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball? And they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order. That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
exactly.
there. But the
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Hey, 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw is Watson. Steps away to his left. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right?
Come back.
I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Jump out.
Rodgers to throw on second down. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. And the Seahawks on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On first down, Murray. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude. But I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
And he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now it's Rodgers. He lets it fly for Lockett. He's got a man. Complete. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
He's going to rifle one deep left. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
That's fine. Yeah.
They'll run here with Ingram. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. They get it to him running left. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by it.
And got his man complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 52 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Watson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Bernardrick McKinney. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Only 3 punts in NFL history have gone for 90 yards or more. You just witnessed one. It's number 4. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. To throw on second is Watson. And it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 94 yards. And the Texans are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Murray looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They go play action here on first down. He lets it. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. That'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time. Rodgers now has hit on just 7 of 17 passes, 41%. And again, it's Rodgers. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
On 1st and 10, Watson trying to lay one up deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 23. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Tiger. Hey, black 22.
Back to the air. Watson on 2nd down. He's letting this one go for Fuller. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning.
It got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 45. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 41 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing is Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Rodgers on third down. He finds his man, Baldwin. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They give it off here to the tight end. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They'll run for it. This is Murray. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Latavius Murray with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Keeps himself upright, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 39, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Hey, check 26.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. The Seahawks on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 16. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DJ Reader. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And now here is another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception. And now their task is even tougher.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Here's Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost...
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe just sitting on it, trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And his pass incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. Down to the 25. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Caught left side by Hilton. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're talking Hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here comes Cobb. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. David Irving breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Rodgers now. From the gun, he'll throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to go down again. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 46. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run again with Perine. Runs over, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Go. It's caught at the 10. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll give it on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Come back, come back.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Likely the play of the game here. Trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flush. And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown. And sometimes you just put it in the hands of your quarterback. Let him take you home.
And you just know the NFL playbooks nowadays have gotten just a little bit thicker because just about everyone has a quarterback run series involved now, and we just saw the evidence of it.
Do defenses hate that?
Drives them crazy because the quarterback is usually not a guy that runs the football. You cover everyone else, and all of a sudden he waltzes in on you.
Here comes Cobb. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. A handoff. It's Murray. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Back to throw, Rodgers. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Big kick right there to give him the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
Tiger. Come back. Hey.
He's back to throw. Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw deep down, and this will be caught at the 30. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A huge play there for Houston. 58 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Penny, the first down carry, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Richmond.
Back to throw. And it's caught. A good pick up there of 20 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They come out here in the eye. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that.
And now it's blocked. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Cobb. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hey, check 26.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 54 yards. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
He'll look to throw. And he fends him off. They'll roll him out. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. Zerline good with a PAT. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.